Hey everyone, hello again and welcome to another video here. Today I want to talk about my sort of hair removal experiences and my other methods of removing hair at home. So before I started transition, I was a pretty hairy person and throughout my life I didn't know why, but a part of it was being trans of course, but I didn't know why I hated my body hair so much. As I was going through puberty, I had more hair on my arms and legs and I really hated it. And every time I would shave my arms and legs, I could see the skin again, like it was clean and smooth. It was a very satisfying thing for me. Now, I do know a lot of cis women have a lot of hair on their body too. And having body hair is not necessarily a thing that's very manly, but as a boy, your hair is thicker, more coarse, and it's not soft and gentle like a woman's hair. On hormone therapy, your arm hair and body hair, leg hair, all of that can slow down and become softer over time. I'm not sure how much of hormones have affected my hair because my hair has been very stubborn, has been very thick and hard to deal with. If you see my HRT update videos, you know I've been to like a salon to do laser hair treatment, and I have tried like IPL lasers at home. It was a Philips Prestige one, as it were. So here are the things that I've personally noticed when doing all these things. First of all, the home laser is just not strong enough for me, and I didn't understand why, because I have fairly white skin because from the Western blood I have, and I had very black hair from the Asian blood I had, but the amount of hair was Western. That was very annoying. I was like, ugh. So if anything, I should be the perfect candidate for hair removal, even home use stuff. But I think overall it did slow down my arms and leg hair. But in terms of like private hair, like your pubic hair, underarm hair, or facial hair, the more stronger, thicker hair, it just doesn't work. And for most people, it doesn't work either. So if you have facial hair or you have private hair you want to remove, you're gonna have to go see like a professional salon with like an actual big machine. Here's the thing with laser hair removal. Whatever laser it is, if it doesn't hurt, it's probably not doing anything. The more effective it is, the stronger it is, meaning that it's gonna hurt more because it is burning your hair follicles or singeing it or whatever. So I've had a full 9 times on my entire body, including lower face, not the upper half of the face. And my results are, in terms of body, a lot of hair has gone, and for the most part, it's acceptable for me. I do want to get electrolysis, but they don't have that in Hong Kong. I don't know why, but in Western countries they have that. And I recommend you starting laser because it hurts, and the more sensitive your skin becomes, the more it's going to hurt as you take hormones. So do it as soon as you can, preferably before you start hormone therapy. It'll also be better to do laser hair removal therapy before your hair starts to get thinner if you really don't want any hair on your body. So just get it done as soon as you can before hormones. So a lot of people overseas, from what I've seen, they tend to do laser hair first because it's a lot quicker and it gets larger patches of hairs, and what remaining hair you have left, you do electrolysis, because electrolysis is a tiny needle that goes into your follicles one by one, and they do it one by one. So it takes a long time, and they charge by the time it takes. So the less hair you have to begin with, the faster it will be, the less it will hurt, and the cheaper it will be. But we don't have that in Hong Kong, so in terms of my face, I kind of have to like pluck like once a week for me to feel comfortable. I don't really get the 5 o'clock shadow anymore, maybe just a tiny bit, but for the most part, concealers or foundations will cover it. But yeah, I do pluck once a week, and all the other times I don't want to pluck because, plucking is still painful. So on average, once a week, I would pluck out some of the hairs on my upper lip and a few random hairs here on my face and a little bit on the chin as well, not too much. Still have some hairs here. It's going a lot slower than it used to be, but there's just still a few hairs left there, and it's very annoying. All the other times, I would just get a regular shaver, the ones you can get from the supermarket or any cosmetic stores, just a regular sort of razor blades. Don't get the cheap stuff, get something that you can replace. And I'm still using like a male shave. Because those hairs are still coarse, so the free triple blades or whatever they're called, the fancy stuff. You can buy the replacement blades if you want. And just shape that. Just use water, don't need shaving cream or anything. And I found that in the past I used to replace the blades quite frequently, but now with less hair and less amount of hair at the same time, like I don't need to anymore. In terms of like facial hair and stuff, if we go up to the eyebrows, just a little bit about eyebrow shaping. I just looked at shapes that I like and I just tried it. The first time I got one of those little eyebrow razors. Just be careful, close your eyes. If you want to be more safe, put some fingers there to protect your eyes and just, kind of like scrape around the shape, because if you go right into plucking the first time, you might not be able to get the correct shape. So what I did was I went with a tiny little razor blade and cleaned up my eyebrows, went from thick to thin. That's the one I like. And I like obviously shaving more from the bottom so the eyebrows are further away from your eyes, have more feminine, as well as this sort of round shape. Do that, and after a while, eyebrows don't grow as fast as the rest of the hair. So, but when you get those one or two hairs coming back, I just pluck them. So that's what I do. Now, in terms of plucking face, it gets easier over time. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the laser or the amount of times I plucked or the hormones, but first time plucking, or if you're the occasional plucker, a guy who plucks occasionally, it really hurts. But over time, you gotta get used to it. The hair follicles get looser, but whatever the case is, over time, a lot of the hairs get easier to pluck and hurt slightly less. My eyes are still like wet or watering by the end of it, but it's definitely not as painful as it used to be. In terms of plucking eyebrows, there's a little bit of a needle like kind of sting there, but it doesn't really hurt compared to the upper lip anyway, so that's okay. And plucking anything else, you can feel the pain, but you can feel it, but it's not, I wouldn't call it painful, but it's like the feeling of pain that's not really painful, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't cross that threshold of being like, ow. No, it's just kind of like, I guess like popping a zip pain, like it's not really that painful. So yeah. Now for the rest of the body, I don't really shave the rest of the body unless it's those very fine little baby hairs that you get on the upper arm or maybe on the chest just a little bit. So for the most part, I would epilate or just pluck random hairs, and like once a week I have some hairs, some areas to have some like little, it's not really patches, like just there's a few hairs concentrated together, and I would get the epilator. Here's a picture of my arm as it is after like about a week of not shaving, not plucking or anything. You can see most of the hairs are gone, and what hairs I do have is pretty short. Definitely growing as fast as they used to be. And I would use epilators, again, just like the face. Over time it gets easier, it gets less painful. Every time you pluck, supposedly you do damage the hair follicles a little bit. Now, one upside of plucking is because unlike shaving, the entire hair is gone, so it takes longer to come back. But the downside is supposedly if you pluck too much hair in the same area, it tells your body to say, hey, there's no hair there, and your body responds by growing hair faster in that location. But what I found is overall, in long-term stuff, it's still better than shaving. Like it still takes longer. And like I said, as you pluck more and more and more, you continuously damaging the hair follicles. Eventually, I don't know how many years, the hairs will grow less or maybe even stop, who knows. Right, so the first epilator I have here is from Braun. It is a facial epilator. You can see it's very tiny. It runs on like a AA battery. It has two directions. Okay, seems to be going faster in one direction. Don't know why. That was actually a very irritating thing with this. This is 5365. And basically it's just a motor with a tiny little attachment on the end. So there are different attachments in here. There's this like sort of silicone pad, sort of brushy one. I think that's for like when you have a facial mask or you have some sort of massage lotion for your face. And you also have one where it's just like a brush attachment. And there's also a little cleaning brush. Cleaning brush that's a little tab on the end to open up the battery compartment. So this is good if you want an epilator for around your eyebrows or some of the fuzzy hair on your face, not the actual facial hair, because that doesn't really work. It's going to hurt and stuff. And obviously this is designed for like, women and not people like us who are transitioning or men. But over time, I realized I wasn't actually using this. Looking back, I would have skipped on buying something like this because I am quite happy just using tweezers to pluck hairs from my eyebrows. And these other hairs, I just got used to using a full body epilator instead of something like this because it's much faster, much more aggressive. Yes, it might hurt more in the beginning and it might leave a red mark, so don't do it in the morning when you're about to go outside. You know, do it before you go to bed or after a shower or something. And the one I'm talking about is this one here. It's also from Braun. It's 5316 and it plugs directly into the wall. There's no battery or anything. You can detach this to clean it if you want to. And it comes with a cleaning brush. And that's it really. And this is what I use to do the rest of my body. Again, this is a picture of my arm after a week of no shaving, no plucking. You see there's still quite a lot of bits of hair here and there. The hair on my arm is going much slower than it used to be, but even after 9 sessions of laser, I don't know if it's because my hair is really stubborn. Like I said, I have black hair and white skin. I should be the ideal candidate for laser removal surgery. Whatever the reason is, I still have some hair left after 9 sessions. So, but it's tolerable, it's handleable. Real women have hair, it's fine. So for me right now, at least, unless if I have some extra money lying around or, you know, more time, then okay, I might go back and get it more done. But again, with the epilator, the first time I used this, it really hurt. I had to do it in little bursts. I couldn't just do it all my leg. Like it's just like, But over time, it just got easier, and it was just like it doesn't hurt. Like it hurts, but not hurt again. Especially on the arms and legs. Even the armpits is fine enough. Private areas, okay, some bits still sting a little bit, and some more sensitive skin areas, you can still kind of get like a rash or something, like the skin between your leg and your bikini area. Those are very thin skin, very sensitive skin, so you're going to be careful when you go around there. You can use this there, but there's occasionally where after I used it, a few of the paws do have little red dots on them, like blood or something, but it's no biggie. Just clean up yourself afterwards with like some sort of cleaning wipe or something. By the way, when you're using the epilator, you always want the motor to be going like up and against the hair, so it can actually, like if this is your hair, you want the blades to go up so it can pick it up. And another thing is, you never want to move it backwards because it might scratch your skin, and that's not nice. So always head in one direction only, up, up, up. Now the thing about the epilator is most likely take more than one go at your arm or leg for it to actually pick up all the hairs, so you're gonna have to go through over and over again, and then once in a while brush all the hair off your arm so you can see if there's where the hair remains, and then go over it again. And then for those parts you probably want to go a bit slower, just so you make sure that the motor will pick up the hairs. And of course afterwards definitely want to put some lotion on your skin, because you know, plucking a lot of hair, just like after waxing, you do want to moisturize your skin or hydrate it somewhat. Okay, so yeah, if you have male shaver, like razor shaver blades, keep those. Those are still handy and useful, especially with the facial hair stuff. Epilating works fine for me. Some people might prefer waxing because it's a larger patch of area, but I find that waxing is kind of just wasteful and expensive because after a few pulls it loses its stick. So unless you have, you know, how to do your own homemade like honey wax or something, those waxing strips you buy outside, you get so little and the bottles are very expensive. So I find in the long-term sense, investment, for example, just you get one that you can use for many years, one of these epilators just work fine for me. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully some of this information helped. By the way, I got these epilators from Yoho Mall online, so you can go on there and find yourself. I'm sure you can find one on HKTV Mall, or if you just walk into like a Manning's or something. So yeah, subscribe, just comment below, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!